Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Dad's Expensive Hobby.
What's up?
Today, we are taking a look at the Jada Toys Ultra Street Fighter 2, the Final Challengers E-Honda. I'm kind of excited to take a look at this one. I did a little poll, and you all wanted to see Balrog first, but I was actually more interested in checking this figure out, and he's finally here. He is the third release in Wave 5 from Jada Toys for their Street Fighter line. I believe they are counting Zangief and T-Hawk as part of this wave. Somebody clarify down in the comments if I'm wrong. But here he is, and let's just dive right into him because I'm kind of excited to look at him. Of course, it's that deluxe package, nice and big. I love that kind of Japanese, that rising sun mural on the wall of the bathhouse there on his little background. Of course, it's got a picture of him right there, and it says E-Honda. And on the back, it's just a single image of him. They probably should have done a little bit more. And all the player characters down at the bottom. I love Jada packaging. Let's see how tall Mr. E-Honda is here, because quite frankly, I don't know how tall he's supposed to be. Shame on me, I did not do my homework. To the top of his little hair knob right there, he is about 6.5 inches tall. Down to his hairline, he's about 6 inches, which would make the figure about 16.5 centimeters. Somebody tell me down in the comments how tall E-Honda is actually supposed to be. But here he is with Blanca right here, and he's a little bit shorter than Blanca, so he's maybe 6 foot tall. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong or right or whatever. Here he is with another person from his wave, little Akuma here, and they look really nice. And here he is with Balrog. Hopefully you guys checked out my video on all these figures I'm showing you, and Balrog's taller than him, and that looks pretty good. And lastly, here he is with the Jada Toys Sagat right here. I haven't had him out in a while, and I feel like I'm ignoring him. And they look really good as well. But let's dig into E-Honda a little bit further and see what all we find. Aesthetics wise, this is a good looking figure. I can't lie. I really like it. It's got a nice kind of matte finish to it. It's not super like chalky flat, but it's not shiny. This is a nice piece of flat plastic, and I like it. There is shading throughout his muscles, and that's another concept I'm having trouble wrapping my head around, is a fat guy with abs. That's kind of cool. It actually gives me hope, you know, being a fat guy myself. But I do like his muscularity and his sculpt. It's very Jada Toys as far as the bubbliness and the way they kind of cut and design the biceps. They're more designed to look good when the arm is flexed, not straight down, and that's cool. I love the towel. The towel around him is done fantastically. The paint is beautiful. There are zero, and I'll say it again, zero flaws in mine. It looks really nice. And it's like flexible plastic, but not super duper flexible. But the way they've done it's so cool. There's cuts in the different layers of it, so it's not just like a solid cut down the side and the side. Like there's a cut here for some flexion, then you move over into another layer and there's a cut there, and there's a cut over here and like here, and then there's even another layer with some cut, so it maintains the wrapped towel look, but still flexing and getting out of the way for when he moves his legs and stuff. So I think that was a very nice decision right there. His back looks really good. Again, there's more shading in the muscles there. I like his skin tone. It's a good it's a good skin tone. I don't know how to say it without it sounding racist, because that's not what I was trying to go for. The head sculpt looks really nice. I like the paint on the face. I like the expression that they've got on there. His hair is sculpted very nicely. There's nice detail and texture in the hair. The little silver, I guess, wrap or whatever, that tie for the top of his hair looks really nice. My neck does have some black schmutz on it right there. Not that big a deal. I can fix that. I just wanted to point it out. I like that he's got big old hands. Look at the size of that fist right there. That's really nice. He does kind of, I guess it's probably a lot to do with the towel, but he does kind of look like he might have kind of short legs in comparison to the upper body. That's okay, because he's kind of a squatted character anyway, at least in his fighting stance. So that's not that big a deal. I just wanted to point it out. And speaking of like the squatted legs, and let's take a look up in his skirt, because as you see right here, they've got like a red diaper for him up underneath there, and I like that. And again, the actual diaper piece, the piece I like refer to as a diaper, is is soft plastic, just like the other one. So we'll see in the articulation how that helps. And if you look up in there, if my camera's showing you which it is, they've given it, kind of made it look like a rope that's going up his ass crack right there. That's, take that for what you will. Feet are nice and big, calves are nice and big. Just overall, he looks really good. I'll make the same complaint about their sculpt as I usually make, and that is that insert molding that they use, particularly in the elbow, stands out a lot and gives it a lot of gap. But when you flex it and stuff, that goes away. But overall, he looks really nice. Now, for accessories, this is a typical Jada release, so he comes with their typical stuff, which is always pretty good, especially for the money. He comes with 2 different head sculpts. He comes with this serious head on him in the package that you've been looking at for the last few minutes, and I think it's done very, very well. He also gets this open mouth yelling face for when he's fighting and all that good stuff, and it's done great. Also, I like it a lot. He comes with 4 different hands. You're getting the fist hands on him that I think look really good. They're nice and bulbous, and he gets 2 of these little open palm kind of attack hands here, and I think they look good as well. Lastly, he gets this nice little like hand chop thing that he does in the game attack piece right here, and it is really nice. It is kind of like clear, soft acrylic kind of plastic or whatever. It's nice and flexible, and there's some nice skin tone painted on it and fading out to kind of give that air kind of look or whatever, and I think it is done really, really nicely. I like it a lot. I might put a picture up somewhere showing you with it on the figure. My only complaint would be that it is only for the right arm or hand or whatever. Is that a thing in the game where he only does that move with his right hand? Somebody tell me down in the comments. But other than that, it is done really, really well. I like. Now for his articulation, we've got a little bit to talk about because he it's not that he's disappointing me, but I expected a little bit better out of Jada in 1 or 2 areas. Let's just start with his head. Of course, he's got a neck joint, and it will move ever so much, and with that ball peg that's up there in the head and neck, he looks down pretty decent. Doesn't look up as good as Balrog did, so that kind of sucks, and that's basically because we know he's on that double ball peg, and Jada definitely knows how to do a double ball peg pretty well, and the neck is on a ball peg, but mine anyway, I'm going to just have to count this as all of them. My neck joint doesn't move really good, so it's almost as if it's not there, and you're just getting movement off that double ball peg. Fuck. I mean, you still get nuance and stuff, but it could look a lot better with that neck moving, so that's unfortunate to an extent. Shoulders. With that new system in there, Y pose, beautiful, same kind of shoulders as on Balrog and Akuma, full 360. Of course, the arms are going to come across him with no gapping. That is fantastic. I absolutely love this new system, and it gets up and down, so I like it a whole big bunch. Bicep swivel, that's nothing new. Double jointed elbow, not the most range ever, but he's just got big bulbous arms, and it is past 90, so I'm not going to freak. It does have that inserted mold kind of sliced look, but whatever. Wrists are on a hinge like normal, so they'll move around and give you rotation. Now, this brings me to my second point of order as far as his articulation issues, I guess you would say, is in here. I'm pretty sure he is on a double ball peg as well in the abdomen. I don't hold me to it. It might just be a regular ball peg, just like a 1 single ball peg. But you're not getting much in terms of crunch forward or back. Like you take you forward, but look, when I let go, it kind of goes back a little bit. So you're not going to get much crunch out of him, but he is a big, portly, round dude, so he's not doing much crunches anyway. Almost 0 back. You get very, very minimal twist or side to side tilt out of him, so that kind of sucks, but that's kind of what's the word I'm looking for? That's kind of par for the course for like rounded torso type characters like this. He does have a ball peg down here in the waist, and you do get quite a bit out of it, so I like that pretty well. You do get lean back and crunch forward and twist and lean and stuff, so 90% of anything from here to here that you're going to get is all out of that right there, and I guess that will work. Like I said, he's a fat, sumo wrestler, so he's not doing a big, he's not going to be over here doing P90X or anything on your shelf, so not that big of a deal. We've seen the cuts that they've got here in the towel. Let's see if they impede the legs. A little bit. But that's still a pretty good split right there. I don't have much problem with that at all. And any kind of dangle is hidden by this towel right here. So that's pretty cool. Not going to get a big bunch of front kick, but you do get a little bit of front kick out of him. And it's a soft diaper piece. So if you wanted to kick him back, you can kick back a little bit. The thigh swivel is hidden underneath the towel, but it works just fine. Double jointed knee. Plenty of range. The proportions might be a little bit off. This lower leg might be a little bit short, and not everybody's going to like the look of that knee cut, but it is there. He's got an ankle swivel that's kind of hidden by the fact that his whole ankle is like kind of a big hinge down here. So you got an ankle swivel down here. The hinge in the ankle foot will go all the way down. Will come up a little bit for you. You do get rocker. Does have a peg hole in the bottom of the foot. And he has a pinless toe hinge as well. Placement is okay. It's fairly tight. It'll come up to about like that. It will go down a little bit, kind of like Balrog, but not quite as goofy looking. So it's not too bad. His toe hinge is definitely better than Balrog's looked. So overall, his articulation is pretty solid. Okay, final thoughts on E-Honda here. I like it. I like the figure. I think it looks really good. I'm trying to not let the two kind of points of articulation issues being, in his neck and in his abdominal break kind of mess with me. But the neck is inexcusable. The abdominal break, the character design and just the way the figure is sculpted can lend to that. But that's still a little bit annoying. His accessories look pretty good, and he's got some nice paint and stuff. Overall, I am going to give him a B. He's not the strongest release from them, just because there was a couple of joint issues, but I'll give him a B. Very, very, very solid figure. I like it for sure. Pick it up if you're collecting this line. You definitely need this. But anyway, that's all I've got to say for E-Honda here. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And this has been Dad with Dad's Expensive Hobby, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.